Hi guys, Togo here, taking a new video, and this video will be a TBC prep video. Third take. I will try to not wander off and not talk about what is happening on my screen. It's very hard because I'm talking and playing at the same time. But basically, we are going to do some TBC prep. I already did that multiple times, and I'm going to give you a few tips on what you should do if you want to do TBC prep. Basically, you want to be able to do professions. You need to go full professions before TBC comes out because that's going to be more expensive to do because people are not going to clear old content anymore. The gear that is going to be, the mats that are going to be available in pre-patch is going to be a lot more scarce. So you should be trying to do your tailoring, your blacksmithing, or whatever you want to do and reach. You should be doing it right now. Now, it's easier said than done. I think you should have done it before. For example, my blacksmithing, I did it basically since like 2 months ago on my warrior. I'm 300 blacksmithing. I'm sure it's going to be more expensive right now. And that's something that you need to prepare for in TBC. If you want to go warrior and you think to go hammersmith or swordsmith, you should for sure level your blacksmithing and get your specialization for your weapon specialization for hammer or sword. Swords like swordsmith is quite fun for warriors. I'll be making a video about that once we are at that point with the warrior level 70. But like I went for hammersmith because I want to do deep thunder PvP. That's basically like the goal, to be with Deep Thunder, especially. Oh my god, I need to click this because it's not like Bond. Where is the rogue? Again, I talk about the gameplay that is in front of me. But basically, you need to go for your professions. That's the goal. You kind of need that if you want to perform or have the easiness of time spent in TBC. You don't want to do that like tailoring 0 to 375 at level 70 because it will cost a lot more. That's like one thing. So do your professions. Right now I'm 300 tailoring, 300 enchanting. Now enchanting, I don't even know why I did that because there is no money to be made, but it's like basically for the spell power on the rings. Is it like a bit dumb for me to do that? Whatever, like it's min max. I think if you want to really min max for like PvE, you would go for engineering, but I went for enchanting because I never did that. So now I have 300 enchanting and made zero amount of gold with it. So you have so many bots like spamming messages like in the general chat, and once you say like looking for enchanting, they whisper directly like it's a bot, and like, that really sucks. I wish like Blizzard kind of killed that, but whatever. Like I purposely choose people that whisper me a personal message instead of like a automatization of that message. Like it's really bad in my opinion to have that. Oh, he's stunned. Okay, whatever. So basically, that's one way to prep. Now, the second way to prep is PvP. You cannot really do that. You can actually start with it. Personally, I'm not doing it with my Warlock because I want to get rank, so I do use my marks. But you should try to get 20, 20, 20 on AB, Warsong Gulch, and AV to be able to gear up easier if you haven't done the rank 14 grind. Because the marks are going to be quite expensive and you still need to farm it, and that's the hardest part, not the honor one. Like honor part because ABs can be very long, or rather be very long. So having already 20 marks on it is the way. But once pre-patch comes out, you want to go to 100 marks because that's the way to, I would say, have an easier time to grind at level 70. At level 70, if you want to get the PvP gear, you will need 20 marks per item that you want to buy, depending on the BG that you need. And also you will need the honor. So you can farm to 75k at pre-patch, keep it at that, or buy gear from rank 14. I'll be trying to go for rank 13. I don't know why I'm doing that. It's basically because I'm kind of bored. But I'll try to go for rank 13 before pre-patch comes out so I can farm the marks and the honor purely for the gear that is needed for TBC. That's the plan, and I will do that for every character. No, I don't know if I have the time to do that, but I'll try to make the time to do that. But that's like one way to prep for TBC. You could also get gear that is going to be good in TBC or like interesting for a very long time. For example, the black book for warlocks. Not everyone plays a warlock, but if you're like a mage, the mind quickening gem, for example, the trinket from BWL for mages that gives like a spell haste effect. That is also a very good trinket. This one is actually very nice, especially if you're going to level as demonology, which I can do and most likely will try to do because I have the Black Book now. And Black Book will also improve Felguard, and Felguard will do immense amount of damage with that. I'm thinking about PvP. I'm thinking for a lot of the ways that I'm going to have fun while doing so. So that's going to be a way to enjoy my time. And I went with a SR on Black Book. Like I started every single BWL I have done with the Black Book, and I was very happy once I have like it acquired. That's one way to prep if you will like prep certain items that are going to last a long time in TBC. For example, DFT or I don't know if you could have trinkets that are going to be like, for example, tier for casters. If you are going to do raids, try to go for the items that may last way longer in TBC. If you're doing Nax gear is normally going to be good as a previous kind of to level 70, depending on the class that you're playing. Not every single class has like previous or like every spec has previous Nax gear. For example, Shadow Priest, there's not much from Nax that you want to have, obviously, except the off pieces or the trinkets. But even then, it is what it is. That's one way to prepare for TBC. Now you can also do gold grinds. You want to have 5k if you want to have like the epic flying mount. I'm going to say that the normal flying mount, which is not that expensive, it's really slow. It's only there to bring you to a certain like elevation that is needed for a certain quest or dungeons or whatever. That's like the only thing that is like really good because your ground mount is going to be faster at traveling like from A to Z. But if you have the epic flying mount, that is going to be faster than even just a fly path. So you should try to get 5k. Also get some golds to maybe buy some materials that are going to be needed for your items that you're going to make or your gear that you're going to make. For example, your frozen shadow weave set, or I don't know how it's called, for warlocks, which I'm like, that's why I'm tailoring to try to make money with the shadow cloth. Well, if you don't want to make money and you want to spend that money, you will still need gold to do that. So try to get the gold so you can get those sets. Those sets are going to be very good. It's going to last a very long time as well. And yeah, that's basically why you need gold. You don't need really gold to play the game. You don't need gold to play PvP, for example. But you still need gold if you want to like be able to perform the highest, or you need to have time. It's either gold or time. So I think it's fine to have that. Now, that's one way to look at how you can spend your time. I would say there's also a bit of prep towards like what character you want to play. That's something that I use a lot of the times. Is that I force myself to play a lot of that character in Classic because TBC is an extension. TBC is an extension of Classic, so if you're not liking Classic Shadow Priest, you are not really going to like TBC Shadow Priest. Although you do get some things, for example, Shadow Word Death, which is cool. You get, for example, Vampiric Touch, which is cool, makes your utility being higher. You get also Mass Dispel. You get a lot of stuff, like Prayer of Mending on Priest, which is super good even for Shadow Priests. That's like things that are like going to improve your classic priest, but truthfully your gameplay doesn't change until Wrath. In Wrath it becomes way different, and then Cataclysm even more different, and then Miss Panara even more different. But in classic TBC, those two are really tied together. So if you don't like the power shifting from Feral Druids, for example, or if you don't like Fury Warriors, how they deal damage for some reason, or you don't like Rogue spamming Sinister Strike in PvE, that's still going to be the thing, that's still going to be the case. Or in PvP, how they need to play with stun locks and you cannot really play around your poisons. Those are things that you are already experimenting in Classic that are going to be the same in TBC. So I would suggest to play that character a lot while leveling, while doing stuff. And that's going to be a way to know if you want to be like playing that character in TBC. So what I'm doing right now is I'm forcing myself on Warlock because that's actually in my top 3, the third character I might level. I might even level it first, but that's like that's very tough for me to be sure if I'm doing that or not. I'm gonna try to kill him. Ooh, no! Can you die? My imp is doing a lot of damage. I say Black Book is the way, bro. Look at this. Imps are doing the same kind of damage as my dots, like, which is crazy damage. And I will be trying to do a spec. Anyways, that's what I'm talking about, right? I'm experimenting with Warlock, and the more I play Warlock, the more I see, okay, I actually want to play Warlock. When I stop playing Warlock and then I play like once the Warlock, for example, on TBC PTR, I'm thinking like, do I really want to play Warlock? But once I'm into PvP, I'm playing PvP, then I'm like, okay, actually this is my class, man. It was always meant to be. Always. And that's something like I really enjoy to do. Well, I mean, I'm just going to walk away. Look, no Power Blast for you. And my Imp is doing some good damage. So that's one way to enjoy your time or spend your time. Test the classes that you're playing. Try to tell yourself that this class that you're going to play, it's not going to change too much from TBC, from Classic to TBC. There are very few classes that get really reworked, except, let's say, Retribution Paladin, and even then you still are auto-attacking most of the time. You're still twisting, but you're auto-attacking most of the time, so that doesn't change too much. So you should be realizing that this is going to be like what you're playing. Or Shamans, for example, you're still like trying to get Wind Fury procs. And yes, you have dual wield, it does change the gameplay, but truthfully, it still is an enhancement shaman with only one button to press, which is Storm Strike. And like, although very efficient at that, way more efficient than I would say Classic, but it's still like something that you need to come to terms if you're playing, let's say, Shaman. So you need to test the classes, play the classes, see for yourself if you want to like play it long term, because once TBC is out, you don't want to like ask yourself like, am I doing the right choice playing like that class, for example. You should not have those conversations. So that's like one way. I'm enjoying my time as a Warlock, so I will be leveling Warrior first. So this is kind of the end of the video where it comes down to tips and tricks to prep for TBC. So basically, top 3 professions, PvP, like the honor, the marks, getting gear that is going to last into TBC, and I would say the fourth one is like trying to play a lot of the character if you want to like decide if you want to main it or not, because it's an extension of Classic and not really reworking anything. What you're playing right now is literally what you're going to get when it comes down to like your class, basically. I need to... Never mind. So basically, I am like still deciding, do I want to play Warrior first, level it first, because it can tank. Probably the attunement will be way easier on that. Finding a spot inside of a dungeon or creating my own dungeons is going to be easier, and it's probably going to be one of the characters I'm going to do Karazhan first, and I will be farming Deep Thunder, which is like the it's a grind, right? And it's fine to be at grind, but that's a grind still. So, but Warlock is going to be very interesting in PvP. Like I think I can get like very high with Warlock, while with Warrior as well, don't get me wrong, but it's still like you need to have a tank. You need to have a healer to go high. You cannot really go do double DPS as a Warrior. I might try just to have fun, but it's not like really the way. And I'm debating between those classes. And Priest is like, for sure, my second character that I'm going to level. And I still need to level my Tailors as well. I need to level my Mage to level 60, which is, I don't really want to do that, but I will have to do it. And it's on the same account as my Warlock, so I cannot really do AV and level at the same time. So that sucks. So that's like a thing that I need to like focus myself on. And that's it. Like, I'm still like questioning myself. I know I made like a lot of videos like you have to main this, or those are the ones I'm maining and whatnot, but like I'm always like changing stuff all the time, right? So I really wonder. So yeah, again, thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye.